As you can see, we've got a nice salad here. Most of this, all of this actually came from Kent Natural Foods today. So we've got this huge pile of fruit because they gave us a lot of fruit. And remember, this stuff that's off to the side, it goes on top of any bowl that you fill. So what we're going to take care of first is the iguana. So let's go over to the iguana cage, and you can see it's covered with a blanket or a towel, and that's so that she can't see out, because if she can see out, she'll try to get out. So you want to cover it back up when you close it. To open the iguana cage, you need to lift up on the door here, and the door is really flimsy. As you can see, it's been repaired with duct tape a few times, so you need to be careful as you lift up. You also need to be tall enough to be able to lift it up high enough to get it out of the tracks that hold it in. And then what I usually do is just lay it down on the floor here and lean it up against the tortoise cage underneath. So here's her bowl, and you can see she didn't eat all of her food, but she ate most of it. And then you also want to get her water bowl, which is usually full of poop. The white stuff here is pee, but a little piece of poop there. Usually it's a lot messier than that. And what I usually do is I go ahead and carry the bowl, the food bowl, and the water dish all at the same time over to the sink. You can set the food bowl off to the side. But when you dump her water bowl, try to dump it right down the drain, directly into the drain, out of one of the corners of the tray here, so that any poop that's in there goes straight down the drain and doesn't spread out in the sink, so that we have to clean the sink out. Spend a lot of time cleaning the sink out. Give it a good rinse. If there's anything that sticks, use the scrubber to scrub it out. Give it a rinse again, and then you can start filling it back up. And I usually do that by having it supported by the back of the sink and the side of the counter here as it's filling up. That way you don't have to hold it up the whole time, because it gets heavy as it fills up with water. And it takes a little while. The iguana may or may not come out of her cage. Sometimes we'll take her out and we'll put her up on the perch that's up on the wall there. Her perch stand is in the, right now it's in the back lab room. But sometimes, or a lot of times, it's sitting out on this table, so she can go up onto that also. You want to fill this to about halfway, maybe a little less than halfway, to make it a little lighter to carry. A lot of times I'm the one, if I'm around, I'm the one to do this, because a lot of people don't want to handle really poopy water and so forth. So, but if I'm not around, I mean, that's the whole reason for these videos. If I'm not around, everybody needs to know how to take care of the animals. So we just slide it back where it goes, and then we can go back and take care of her food bowl. And you want to empty all food bowls into the trash bucket here. Don't accidentally put it into the food mix bucket. Scrape it out as good as you can, and then give it a good rinse and good scrubbing with the scrubber. You want to try to get out all traces of decaying food, because if the animal smells decaying food, it might turn them off to the fresh food that you put in there. And sometimes you have to wash the outside too, because the outside's covered with possibly poop or something. And then you can go ahead and fill it. And for her, it's pretty much a good full bowl. It's not a huge heaping bowl, however, because as you could see, she left some behind last time. And she's going to be fed, this is Monday, so she's going to be fed again Wednesday, and you can take that into consideration too when it comes to the amount of food you give animals. So she likes a lot of leafy stuff, so when you're getting the food out of the bucket, try to choose it from the top more than the bottom. The heavier stuff tends to go to the bottom, and the lighter stuff on top. So she likes the leafy stuff better than the more solid stuff. And then you can just grab a handful of the soft fruit material that's often going to be off to the side and throw that on top. She'll probably really enjoy this. And we've got plenty of it today, so you can be generous with it. And then return that to her, and she'll probably eat right away here. You also want to look around, and this goes for all the cages, look around, see if there's anything to clean up. When it comes to the iguana's cage, leaving we usually only clean it up when it's really, really bad. Usually she poops in her water, and that's the great part of this system. She poops in her water, and we don't have to clean up the poop from the cage floor. But periodically we'll completely scrub out the bottom of the cage floor. But right now it doesn't look too bad. And as you can see, she's enjoying her food. You want to be really careful closing the cage, just like you were in opening the cage. What I usually do is I get it in the right track first, and again, you have to be pretty tall to close this up, and then get it in the left track, and then let it down very slowly, making sure that no part of the iguana is in the bottom track here that the plexiglass fits into. Otherwise it'd be like a guillotine. You'll cut off her tail or cut off her toes or something. And then cover her back up. And she's done.